This is Justin Case from American Newscape, joining our friend and mentor Eric Olsen, attorney and executive director of Helps, nonprofit law firm, sharing a potential path to financial hope, primarily for seniors. Greetings, Eric. Welcome to American Newscape.
Hi, Justin. I'm glad to be here.
We've been excited about this interview, so let's kick it right off. Do seniors need to worry if they are sued?
So it's a good question. Half of seniors have incomes within 200% of the poverty line. They're classified as economically vulnerable. Statistics show that seniors retire owing more debt than ever before. And if they can't pay their debt, creditors can call and harass them, and occasionally they can get sued. And so they're scared if they get sued. So the question is, do they need to worry if they're sued? What most seniors don't realize is that their Social Security, their pension, and their disability, VA benefits, their retirement income is protected by federal law. It can't be garnished or taken from them. So for those reasons, seniors generally, even if they're sued and they get a judgment against them, nothing bad's going to happen to them. Now, a lot of times they might worry, are they going to lose other assets? And for different reasons, that won't happen. So for most seniors, the vast majority of seniors, if they have debt and they can't pay it and they're sued, nothing bad's going to happen to them and they're not going to lose their income.
Well, that's promising. So if a senior owes money, do they need to be worried about being sued? And that's probably not. I imagine being sued can be scary, and what happens when a senior is sued?
So not all creditors sue seniors, okay? I think a lot of creditors realize that seniors' income is protected, and statistically they realize they're probably going to not get paid. A way a senior will get sued is someone would knock on the door and serve with a couple pieces of paper, normally called a summons and a complaint. And it's something that states that the person owes a certain amount of money, and it details who's doing the suing. Could be a credit card company or a loan company, and the amount that they say they owe. And it will give a number of days that the senior has to respond if they're going to contest the item. So the person that knocks on the door and serves someone, and that can be scary if it's never happened before. Every sheriff's office has a deputy assigned, a civil deputy, to serve papers. So it's nothing criminal, or there's private processors. So someone knocks on the door and hands you the papers. That's how you're sued. It gets filed in court, and then you get served with a set of papers.
Okay, so at that point, should I look into advocacy information to help me as a senior?
Well, for lower income seniors or seniors whose income is, like I said,
right,
limited to Social Security, pension, and if they owe the money, a lot of times it's not worth it to try to defend the lawsuit. You owe the money. If you file an answer and try to defend it, you're going to lose, and you're just going to get embarrassed. So, and if the creditor gets a judgment, they're not going to be able to collect from you. Like I explained, your income's protected, and we can talk about that some more. But no, they probably wouldn't need to get any help to defend it. Now, I know some people say you should always hire an attorney. Well, that's easy to say, but frankly, a lot of lower income seniors and poor seniors, they can't afford an attorney.
Yeah.
They don't need an attorney because the creditor can't do anything. They're what's called judgment proof. No one can take anything from them.
Okay. So their income is protected. What about their bank accounts?
Okay. So if someone gets a judgment, it's an order from a judge saying you owe a certain amount of money. And so a creditor would try to attempt to collect. And the most common thing they would do is try to garnish a bank account. Okay. And there's a federal law, it's a federal rule that went into effect in 2011 that states that banks are required to protect twice the amount of federal benefits, including Social Security, deposited into a bank account automatically from garnishment, no matter what funds are in there at the time of the garnishment. So if a senior had received, let's say $1,200 in Social Security, that means if someone had a judgment against them and they served legal papers on them, and then they got a judgment, and then the person who had the judgment knew with the senior bank and filed a writ of garnishment on the bank. The bank has a department in the bank that examines where the money came from that went into the bank account, and that's coded to know if it came from a federal source. They times that times 2. That amount is protected, no matter if there's monies in that bank account that came from another source, a gift, or won a little lottery ticket, or whatever. So if your income was $1,200 in Social Security, $2,400 is automatically protected. Now, if a senior had more than that in there, the excess could be held out. They'd have to file a challenge to garnishment or claim an exemption. A nonprofit law firm that we help people do that all the time. But most of the time, seniors say they'll never have more than twice the amount of their federal benefit in the account. So for that reason, bank accounts are protected, can't be touched.
Okay. What about other property, Eric? Can a judgment creditor take their home, car, or other assets?
Okay, good question, and that's a question a lot of seniors have. So every state has what are called exemption laws, and they vary from state to state, and that means how much equity you can have in a certain amount of property that's protected from creditors that can't be taken. And it's commonly used when a person files bankruptcy. I'll give you an example. So if you're buying a home and you live in Texas, or you live in a different state, every state has a different amount of it. Like in Oklahoma, the exemption covers all the value in a home. In Texas, I think it's unlimited up to 5 acres. And some states have real small exemptions for certain types of property, and other states have larger amounts of exemptions. And it's the same thing for personal property, like a car, furniture, that kind of stuff. Sometimes seniors are worried, well, gee, I have a car that's free and clear. I had someone talked to yesterday. They had a brand new car, and they were worried that the judgment creditor was going to take that car, and it was free and clear. Well, okay, so I've been an attorney for 42 years. I probably filed 40 to 50,000 bankruptcies before we started Helps. It is not the practice of judgment creditors to go after personal property of persons or to try to take a home, even if that person has equity in that property over and above the exemption for the state. Okay, they just don't do it for a lot of different reasons. No, a senior shouldn't worry about losing a personal property. Now, I suppose there could be a few really rare exceptions, but they're so rare it's not an issue. Sometimes a creditor would use it as an intimidation tactic to get someone to pay. Say, well, we're going to take this or that. No, they won't do it. It's too complicated. It's too expensive.
Eric, are creditors bound to tell us the truth?
Oh, of course not. No, they never tell you the truth.
And I think once we realize that,
no, they don't. They would never tell seniors, and I include people on protected income or disabled. They would never tell them any of this stuff that you're hearing.
Okay, I'll tell you, one of the most fascinating things about you is you have an extensive legal background, and did I understand correctly? You had retired and actually came back to put this nonprofit together?
Well, we've been talking. Bankruptcy attorneys have talked to the seniors for years, and they come to them and say, "Hey, listen, we, they owe us debt, and we'd say to them, hey, you really don't need to file bankruptcy because everything you have is protected. They can't touch anything. But when they went home, the creditors would call and make their lives miserable. So there's a federal law called the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. And when a person sends what's called a cease and desist letter, a debt collector has to stop communication by phone or writing. They stop it. And a person can get a copy of it, cease and desist letter on the internet, on our website. But the law also says if a person's represented by an attorney, debt collectors can no longer communicate with that person. They have to communicate with the attorney. And so a lot of seniors can't handle this on their own. It's difficult for whatever reasons. They don't want to have to deal with collectors. And so what HELPS does is we represent seniors so that debt collectors, we send out letters to the people they owe money to, tell them, don't bother them anymore. You have to communicate with us. And if there were 10 commandments for debt collectors, commandment number 1 is if a person is represented by an attorney, I can no longer communicate with that person. I have to talk to the attorney. Otherwise, I'm going to get sued. So that's what we do. Seniors contact us who have debt, that are being harassed, or they're worried they can't afford to pay it. And we represent them so the collectors can no longer contact them anymore.
Wow. Is there a cost to that, Eric?
We're a 501c charity, and essentially that means that we turn no one away that needs the help that we provide. Maybe 1 out of 5 or our clients get our help for free. Those that pay very minimal amount, an example would be $20 for 12 months and $10 a month for 36 months after that, $5 a month or wait. So we have kind of an amount of fee that's based on a person's income that's suggested. But money is our focus. It's helping seniors who have debt problems so they don't have to worry. We always tell them, if you're ever worried or scared, you need to call us, no matter how often, because they don't need to be worried or scared, but they need to have someone that can call if something happens or they have a question. So that's what we're here.
Well, I imagine this has to be pretty fulfilling for you and your whole staff. A lot of us have put in days of work that we really don't make a difference, but it seems like you guys are making a difference every day.
Yeah, we are making a difference. We're the only nonprofit law firm in the nation providing this service. There is so much misinformation. There are so many people trying to scam seniors out there. There's these debt settlement or debt management companies that sign seniors up to make payments to their debts. They never tell them that their income is protected. And they put a lot of them into utter poverty, making payments towards their creditors when they don't have to. They don't tell them that their Social Security is protected, and they don't need to do it. And then, of course, there's the debt collectors that scare them and intimidate them. So, yeah, what we do is absolutely necessary. They can't afford bankruptcy. They don't need bankruptcy, but with HELPS, they have an attorney ongoing, so they never have to worry about this again for the rest of their lives.
Wow.
That's simple. We do a lot of other things too, but we educate seniors how to maintain their financial independence. We talk to them, we'll help them get on non-collectible now status for the IRS, we'll help them with student loans, to stop any set-off from Social Security. We'll help people have questions about surrendering a car or a RV, or what about a house you can't afford, or renting issues. We do a lot of other things. Our primary focus is to stop collectors from harassing seniors, but we also want seniors to be able to live within their income. So we'll talk to them about a lot of other areas that we can help them on and give them guidance on. It's all part of what we do.
Okay. All right, Eric, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Our toll-free number is 855 HELPS US, HELPS US. Our website is www.helpsishere.org, and it's help with an S on it. It stands for Help Eliminate Legal Problems for Seniors. And they can get on our website. They can email us. They can spend hours on our website. We got a YouTube video with scores of different videos on different topics. So, and they can call us as often as they want. And when they call us, we go over their situation, and if they decide that they want our help, we actually enroll people over the phone instantaneously. And if they get an email while they're on the phone, they'll get an email from us confirming they're a member of our program. So a person can call us as being harassed, and in 5 or 10 minutes they can be enrolled in helps. And if a creditor calls them 5 minutes after that, they can tell them, hey, I'm represented by Helps nonprofit law firm. You can no longer legally call me. Call my law firm. Leave me alone. Goodbye. That's easy. That easy.
Wow. Okay. And all these links and this information will be in this video's read more.
Great.
All right, Eric. Thank you. Uh, I think our audience is going to enjoy this. This has been Justin Case and Eric Olsen getting after resetting your future. Thanks for joining us. Remember, free gifts and additional information and links provided in this video's read more. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel to stay connected, and please connect with Helps in the links below.